Hi everyone, back again with Kuglasobi. In this video, we're going to take a look at S.H.Figuarts Suguru Geto, and this is the Tokyo Jujutsu High School version. Of course, this is the same version with SHF Satoru Gojo that I unbox and preview in my channel. So we're going to take a look at Suguru Geto and we're gonna see whether there are similarities or not between this Suguru Geto figure and Satoru Gojo figure. I pre-ordered this figure from Ami with the price of 7,940 yen. Now let's take a look at this Geto figure together. For the figure box, I would say it is quite similar with Satoru Gojo. The difference is with the color and of course the preview and different pose of the figure on the box. I would say that the parts that we get with this figure are probably around the similar amount like Satoru Gojo. So I would say there are a lot of similarities between this and Satoru Gojo figure, especially as you can see later in terms of articulation and parts. So you can see these are all the parts that are included with this Suguru Geto figure. I think it is what we expected from a Figuarts figure. For the instruction is still in the form of a paper. As you can see here, the parts are not that many, so I would say it is quite simple to swap and attach the parts. Probably the one that you might want to pay attention more is with the hand part, that like putting his hand in the pocket. Probably just pay attention to that and the rest is quite simple. For the articulation, I would say this is still quite standard for a Figuarts figure. As you can see here, we're starting from the head first. The movement of the head looks good, and also for the arms, the movement is also looking good. And probably there are some limitation here and there, but nothing that you haven't seen from a Figuarts figure. So overall, this is just standard Figuarts figure articulation. So any limitation that comes from it, probably you will find it in other Figuarts figure as well. So for the upper body part, for the arms, and of course the lower body part, especially the legs, I would say I'm quite content with the articulation that we got with this figure. So I'm quite satisfied with the articulation that we get with this Suguru Geto Figuarts figure. For the appearance, I would say this figure looks good. It has good similarities with his character that we saw in the series. His face looks good, his hair looks good. I think it's sculpted quite nicely here, and especially for the outfit, I think the outfit looks good. It probably has the similar look with Satoru Gojo, and I would say it looks nice, but I wouldn't say it doesn't have any problem, but it's probably, not probably, hopefully this is a defect that only affects me and no one else. So as you can see, even though I like the overall look, there are some spots in the outfit where the painting is not really that tidy. It's not really, it's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit bothersome to see. So hopefully this is just happened to me. But if you happen to buy this figure, let me know if you have some problem with the painting in those two spots that I've shown earlier. For the extra parts, we got several extra faceplates here, which I think are quite nice in terms of the quantity and the variation. We got the serious one just now, and this is the smiling with the eyes closed, and this is another one, probably more like laughing here, and the last one is more of a serious expression that you probably can use for battle pose. This is the hand part that is holding a cell phone, which probably you know this is similar like the one that we get with Satoru Gojo figure. For the rest of the hand parts, I would say it is quite standard. It is what we expected from a Figuarts figure, especially for a Jujutsu Kaisen figure. So in terms of parts that we get, I would say it's rather similar with Satoru Gojo, especially for the variation and the number of parts that we get. I wouldn't say that I don't like it, but it is probably what we expected from a Figuarts figure. It is what we get from this figure, and there's no part that really stands out for me. We're going to create two different poses with this figure. First, we're gonna swap the faceplate first. We are going to use this laughing faceplate, and I will use the hand part with the cell phone and the hand part that look like you putting your hand to the pocket for this first pose. So it's more of like a laid back pose, and as you can see here, when I'm swapping and attaching the parts, I don't find it really difficult to swap and attach the parts. Probably the one that you need to pay attention of is with this hand part, because you might need to do some alignment so that the pocket looks really nice and align well with the pants part of the outfit, so it doesn't look really weird when you pose it like this. Probably this is the only part that might take time when you pose the figure. And as this is a Figuarts figure, the figure can stand on itself without any help for any stand, and this is the first pose for the figure. As for the second pose, I'm going to create more of a serious expression, probably more like a battle pose. I will swap one of the hand parts as well. So I will use this faceplate, and if I don't really talk much about when I'm creating this pose, is because the parts are what I expected and is rather a similar parts like what we get with Satoru Gojo, so this is nothing new for me, so that's why I don't really comment much about the parts, because they are just standard parts that we expected to get from this figure. So we have created two different poses with this Figuarts figure of Suguru Geto, Tokyo Jujutsu High School version. For size comparison, first it's with Figuarts figure of Satoru Gojo of the same version, and this is with Suguru Geto Figuarts figure Jujutsu Kaisen 0 version, and Yuta Okotsu Jujutsu Kaisen 0 version as well. And lastly, it's with Figuarts figure of Aoi Todo. We are done with the unboxing. Now let's get into the review for this Figuarts figure of Suguru Geto, Tokyo Jujutsu High School version. In terms of appearance, I would say the figure looks good. It has good similarities with his character. His face looks good, his hair is sculpted quite nicely, and I like the overall look, especially for the outfit. The only thing that bothering me is those two spots that I've shown earlier where the painting look a bit not tidy, so probably that's the only problem I have. So let me know if you have the similar problem or not. For the articulation, it is quite standard for Figuarts figure. I'm happy with it. In terms of extra parts that we get, I would say the number and the variation is what I expected from a Figuarts figure, especially for the Suguru Geto. So in a way, there's no parts that really stands out for me, and the figure itself is just a simple figure with simple parts. If you really like this version of Suguru Geto and you like Jujutsu Kaisen, I would recommend you to buy this figure. But if you don't, you probably want to think first, because the price is not really that cheap, and the price that we get is just what we expected, and the figure itself is quite simple. We are done with the unboxing and review for this figure. Let me know what you think about this figure down in the comment. I personally like this because I'm probably a bit biased here. I like this version of Geto and also Gojo in the anime. I like the arc, so for me, I like this figure of him because I really like this version of Gojo in the anime, so I'm more than happy to get this figure. But for you, if you don't really like this version of Geto or even Gojo, you probably want to think first, especially because I think the Suguru Geto Jujutsu Kaisen 0 Figuarts figure is much a better figure than this one. So let me know what you think about it. For the next figure, I'm going to be unboxing and review Figuarts figure of Roro no Azoro. This is the version of One Piece Netflix live action. Please wait for the next video. If you want to support me, please consider to like and share the video, enable notification, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.